Good morning. Let the record show I'm all teched out. Good morning, everybody, and I'll add my welcome to Newark. I want to begin by thanking both the New Jersey Business and Industry Association and for Audible for co-hosting the forum today. Michelle, I look forward to working with you and your team in promoting New Jersey's strong and exciting environment for business and to growing our economy and revitalizing our urban centers together. I would specifically like to commend NJBIA's efforts in ensuring greater connectivity between our business community and our great institutions of higher education. This is just one way we'll keep our millennial generation here at home, and rest assured we are committed to working with you to advance this work. To my friend, by the way, the short straw in the dictionary definition, speak after Don Katz. To my friend Don Katz, founder and CEO of Audible, thank you for being on the leading edge of the innovation economy here in New Jersey and in Newark. Particularly, you know the tremendous value that this city brings to our goal of reclaiming that mantle Michelle just talked about as the home of innovation. And moreover, you've made Audible a leading corporate citizen in this city through things like the Reading Pals program, paid internships for Newark students, and your collaborative efforts with Rutgers School of Business through Newark Venture Partners. You have set the bar. Not a coincidence, by the way, that when my wife and I founded a think tank, one of the very first events we did was at Audible, in the category of not just words but actions. And to all the panelists who will follow this morning, thank you for your lending your voices to this cause. Your experiences and your expertise are needed now more than ever. You share my optimism, I think our optimism, for the prospects of our state. And more importantly, you share our vision of an economy driven both by innovation and based in our cities. I've had the chance to meet privately with many of you as I look around, and our conversations are shaping the roadmap that we will be unveiling for moving our state forward. Don mentioned him. Is Jay Body here? Jay, where are you, buddy? Right in front of me. I didn't see you, pal. I especially want to give you a shout out. You served on our transition team's technology and innovation committee, and your counsel and ideas and friendship have meant an enormous amount to me. Senator Ruiz, it's an honor to be with you as always. Ruthie, we miss Brendan every day, but it's great to have you with us. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are here in Newark for a reason. Let there be no doubt. This is a city clearly on the rise, and in its rise, we can see the model for urban economic growth and revitalization and the embrace of the innovation economy that can be replicated in cities across our state. This is a city that is proving our belief that economic progress cannot be made without social progress, and likewise, social progress cannot be achieved without economic progress. Bless you. This is a city that has not ignored its roots or its people, and it is creating an entirely new energy off the recognition that those who stayed and fought for a better Newark were on to something big. From where we sit, we are but a 20-minute train ride into Midtown or Lower Manhattan by either NJ Transit or PATH. We are situated right next door to one of the East Coast's busiest ports, if not one of the busiest ports in the entire country. We are connected by one of the nation's leading highway systems. In every direction lay neighborhoods and communities brimming with talent. Within just a few blocks from here are Rutgers Newark, NJIT, and the Seton Hall School of Law, to name just a few institutions. As Don referenced, we are surrounded by Newark fiber. I hadn't quite thought through the Iceland analogy, but I'm now going to use it. I put sticks on the ground in many places in the state, and a lot of steam does come up, by the way. I got to start using that one. This city's own high-speed fiber optics network connecting everything and everyone here with everything and everyone everywhere else. And within only a 100-mile radius, there are nearly 31 million potential employees and consumers. But the real beauty is that it doesn't just have to be a Newark story. Every city, Patterson, Trenton, and Camden, to name a few, up and down our state can be remade to boast these same advantages. Visiting our cities fills me with tremendous optimism and excitement, and I know others feel it too. I know Amazon does, and it's why no one is laughing, exactly no one is laughing at Newark's prospects of landing HQ2. And I am, like everyone else involved in this, very respectful of the process that they're going through. But I would commend, assuming it's accurate, I would commend to everybody to read an article in today's New York Times in the business section about what Amazon is trying to find outside of Seattle based on the lessons that they learned in Seattle. And Aisha Glover is here today. Aisha knows this better than anyone. I heard Finn Wentworth's name shouted out. Finn, how are you? And Ray Chambers. I don't think Ray is with us, but Ray and others who have been very involved. And I can't say enough good things about Mayor Baraka's leadership. But if that article is true, and again, I'm not going to go off on my own riff about what is or is not the case, Newark is absolutely purpose-built for a company like Amazon. In particular for this notion, it's got to work for the new folks, but it's got to work for the folks who fought and stayed. And I think our city right here, this city right here, is uniquely qualified in that respect. This state is custom built to not only lead, but to dominate the innovation economy. First, this is our economic DNA. We can make the argument that we were Silicon Valley before there was a Silicon Valley. And I know some of you have heard me say that before. And I'll keep saying it. Because we didn't lose our dominance in the innovation economy because our people or our location changed. We lost it because we let it go. And now we're here to take it back. There is absolutely no reason we can't, with the right leadership, the right policies, and the right partners, because we know we have the right ingredients right here. We are renowned for having one of the most highly educated, highly skilled workforces in the country, if not the world. 39% of our workforce holds college degrees. We have the nation's fourth highest percentage of millennials with college degrees. We have the highest concentration of scientists and engineers per square mile in the entire world. That is New Jersey. We are also, as Don alluded to in his commencement story, we are the most diverse state in many respects in the nation. We wear that as a badge of honor, and that in and of itself is a key ingredient in a burgeoning innovation economy. Let's exploit our reality. This state has everything the innovation economy needs to flourish. Now we're preparing to take the steps to ensure the companies that bet on New Jersey will find it was the best bet that they ever made. Reclaiming this space will also take realigning our vision of economic development to promote smart planning in our urban centers and taking full advantage of our transit hubs and our density to create a new ecosystem even more inviting to the innovation in tech sectors. While it is a major responsibility in our environmental selves, it also must be noted that New Jersey is the fourth smallest state in the nation geographically and the densest state in the nation. Again, that gives us challenges to make sure we can't afford to have a C+ on the environment with those realities, but it gives us another huge step up on the innovation economy. Yes, and Don alluded to this, tax incentives will play a role in our vision, but we need to be smarter, and we will be, and more targeted in their implementation. We have insufficiently focused on investing in the young and international firms which can provide a great return on investment. We also have this added benefit of the opportunity zones that Don also referred to. We were successful in getting 169 of those census tracts designated by the federal government across 75 communities in the state, including double-digit tracts right here in Newark. And we intend to exploit that. I also mentioned, as was mentioned earlier by Don as well, the international reality. We're going to make 2 trips this year in our official capacity, and they are explicitly focused on the innovation economy to Germany and to Israel later this year. There are already significant relationships, we want to strengthen them and increase them. The old way of doing business has cost us dearly. We have put out tax incentives, and again, I thank Steve Van Kuyken and his McKinsey brothers and sisters for this, at roughly over $160,000 per job created. Meanwhile, I'll compare that to one of our top competitor states, Massachusetts. Massachusetts created jobs over the past number of years at a rate of more than 7 times the job creation that we had in New Jersey, but they did it with incentives of just over $20,000 per job. So you ask yourself the question, how's that math work? If we're out $160,000 per job, they're out at just over $20,000 a job, but they're lapping us in job creation. How do they do that? Well, they were investing in creating the exciting economic ecosystem that we are getting back to. They made the adjacent investments into things like public education, computer science for all, infrastructure, etc. All the things that we are, with the budget that we've proposed, are getting back to doing what we used to do so well in the state. I want to see our program incentivize more startups and incubators and seek out the cutting edge firms that will lead the next innovation revolution. And it doesn't have to be one or the other. We like the big companies here, believe me. That doesn't mean that we can't give more care and feeding to the startup community. Moreover, we're not just going to focus on just one business or another, but on investing in whole communities and revitalize downtowns. This is how I think together we could create the exciting, walkable, and connected urban centers that businesses will want and where millennials will want to live. I'll leave Newark for a minute. This is the vision we have for a recently announced collaboration for The Hub in New Brunswick, which we see as a center for cross-industry research and development. It will be the future applied sciences center of New Jersey, our answer to what, in some respects, what New York City and Cornell University with Technion from Israel have built on Roosevelt Island. The Hub will be a place where the next generation of world-changing, innovative companies are born. And again, this is not one or the other. You can have that culture in Newark, and you could have it in New Brunswick and other communities around the state. In the Hub's case, it leverages what New Brunswick has to offer. It begins with Rutgers, and it's more than $650 million annually in research grants and sponsorships in the biomedical and health sciences, as well as its participation in the Big Ten Cancer Research Consortium. To that, we add the city of New Brunswick itself, home to R.W.J. Barnabas, the Cancer Institute of New Jersey, and Johnson & Johnson, and with many other companies located within just a few miles. This connection between higher education and industry is just a start. Our budget proposes, as I mentioned a minute ago, as part of an increased investment in our public schools, creating computer science for all initiatives in classrooms across our state, through which we can not only inspire the next generation of innovation leaders, but also get to more girls and underrepresented minorities interested in tech careers, where we do a particularly poor job at the moment. We will invest again in workforce development to close our skills gap, and we're taking the first step on the path to making community college tuition free for all, so we can have a workforce prepared for the middle skill jobs that are so vital in the innovation economy. We've also proposed what we think of, I'm not trying to pat myself on the back here, but we think a reasonably innovative college loan forgiveness program for New Jersey students. And the deal is stay in New Jersey, go to college in New Jersey. By the way, we lead the nation per capita in exporting high school seniors. And if that weren't enough, we lead it in exporting college seniors. I'd like to have a big export economy. I just don't want it to be our young people. So how about a program that keeps kids home, going to college in New Jersey, majoring in a field that we are trying to align the future economy with. Remember, Wayne Gretzky's in the back of our mind whenever we talk about planning the economy. When he was asked why he's so good, he said, because I go to where the puck is going, not where it's been. That's what we need to get back to as we plan for our economy. That same student then stays in New Jersey and works, say, for 5 years in the field or a field that we are emphasizing. And in years 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, X thousands of dollars of that young person's student loans are forgiven by that program. That's a program. Moms and dads are happy. It keeps kids home. It majors in a field and works in a field that we're emphasizing, and unburdens the college loan reality, which is too burdensome for too many. I talk a lot, and we are talking today about the STEM economy, as we should. It's in our DNA. But many rightfully, and I have to say this at NJPAC, many rightfully remind me, and Don alluded to this in his Berlin example, a city that I know very well, the A in STEAM is also important as we construct this 1 + 1 = 3 new reality. That notion of creativity and edginess, and living at the edge of the seat and seeing things and hearing things that are drawn not just from the maths and the sciences, but also from the artistic side of our society is equally important as we build this ecosystem. We've also, we've got, by the way, 63 colleges and universities across our state and a tight network of vocational schools, each brimming with talent, just looking for their big opportunity. We will help promote these connections through new online tools, direct matchmaking between industry and institutions, and new vocational educational grant programs. And make no mistake, Michelle, back to you and your team, NJBIA and each of you in this room will play and will need to play a pivotal role in these efforts as they come online. But more importantly and critical to today's discussion, we have our cities. They once were the economic engines of our state, and they will be again. For the first time since World War II, our state is reurbanizing, and we cannot ignore this simple fact. This is one reason why I am so focused on reconnecting with our roots in union labor. The places where these businesses will be born and grow, whether it's at the hub I mentioned in New Brunswick or in a remodeled, century-old and iconic office building here in downtown Newark, those won't just appear out of nowhere. They will need to be built or rebuilt. The hardware will need to be installed. And in creating good paying jobs in the innovation economy, we'll be also creating countless good paying jobs for our friends and neighbors in the building trades. This interconnectivity is at the heart of building the stronger and fairer New Jersey I envision, in which I know we can be. It's built on a recognition that we are all in this together, and that we don't succeed as individuals or as individual companies unless we all succeed as one New Jersey family. Moreover, these are the values which run through the innovation economy. After all, if the goal of innovation is to improve lives and connect people, then there is no better way forward than by living those values. For too long, we've looked at it the other way around, with a view that for someone to succeed, well, someone else was going to be left behind. This belief is wholly antithetical to the values which built our state and to the values through which we will rebuild it. Again, I thank Michelle and NJBIA and Don and Audible for hosting this incredible forum. My office is here to turn the visions that are created today to help you turn them into reality, whether it be through the efforts I've mentioned, both those already being undertaken, those we'll soon unveil in greater detail, or those we haven't even yet thought up. We are here to be a partner in your growth and success. And I've got a small army with me today, but I'll single out our Deputy Chief of Staff, Joe Kelly, who's in charge of economic affairs and is a good guy to connect with at some point over the course of this conference. I thank you all if you came here to Newark this morning. I thank you all for coming here. And after this forum ends, I hope you'll walk around and see although it's not as warm as it needs to be outside, by the way. This just in. I believe tomorrow will be, but not today. But I hope you get a chance to walk around and see the transformation happening here and envision it, not just Newark's future, but in cities across the state. Together, we can make what's happening here happen in all of our urban communities. Thank you all very much.